I recently created a video in which I briefly talked about how to determine whether a trading strategy has stopped working or not. Being able to identify the difference between a trading strategy having a normal, regular pullback or drawdown, or whether that trading strategy has completely stopped working and completely broken is really quite tricky. Anybody can tell looking back on a historical chart when or where that trading strategy stopped working. But what's important is being able to tell live at the time when real money's at stake whether or not that trading strategy stopped working. So for that, we do need a rule or a method to help us identify this. Because if we continue to trade a now broken strategy, all we're going to do is lose. And using the method that I'm about to show you in this video will prevent you from throwing money at a losing strategy. A method that I use, and the one I'm going to show you how to do today, is by trading the strategy's equity curve. Now, I have done videos about this before, but what I haven't done is showed you exactly how to create this in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to show you how to take your trading results, whether that be the results of a backtest or live trading, and put them into a spreadsheet, create the relevant graphs, and then we're going to talk about the rule of when to switch off and possibly switch back on the trading strategy. I'm going to use two strategies as an example in this video, and they're both strategies that I created from scratch, and they're both strategies that I've live traded. In fact, one of them I am still live trading today. The first strategy, which I am still trading today, I first created back in 2016, and it made me money for quite a few years. Then it actually stopped working, and this method that I'm going to show you would have got us out, and it also would have got us back in, and now I am back in and I'm trading that strategy, and it's been continuing to make money. The other strategy I created in 2018, and I traded it and it made money for about 18 months, but then it stopped working. I've long switched it off all the time that it hasn't been making me money. Firstly, we look at the strategies in multi-charts, and then we go over to the spreadsheets and I'll show you exactly how I've created them and how you can copy and create your own too. So let's go over to the computer and have a look now. In this first workspace, we're very quickly going to have a look at the equity curve of strategy number one. Now, it doesn't matter what the strategy is, this happens to be a reversal strategy on Euro-Pound on a 30-minute chart. But look at the data we've got loaded up. We've got from 2008 through till the 1st of August 2019. Now, if we look at the equity curve, I'll explain why I have that data. So here's the equity curve, ignoring this early period. That didn't bother me when I first developed this strategy. Now, I first developed this strategy in April 2018. So if I look on the chart, and where I am now with the mouse is around about April 2018. That's when I first developed this strategy. And we can clearly see that it continued to make money ever so nicely right up to the end of this chart, which was to August 2019. We know that because I just showed you on the actual price chart. Now, looking at that chart there, does there look like there's anything wrong? Well, it doesn't to me. It looks completely normal. We have had a little recent pullback. We've been making nice new highs. We can see that by the green dots here. We've been making new highs all the way since development, to almost 18 months worth of profit out of that. And we're just going through a slight pullback now, so everything seems to be okay so far. But let's have a look at the next chart. Now we have data right up until around about the present day, which is May 2021. You can see on the chart I've loaded data up until the 29th of April 2021. Let's have a look at the equity curve now, and what a different story we see now. You remember in the last graph we got to about here, which was August 2019. Everything looked okay, but from that day onwards the strategy has never made a new high. It's just gone downwards. And if I didn't have a rule in place which says stop trading the strategy, it could be broken, I would have continued to trade that and most probably just lost money on this one particular strategy. So strategies do, even my strategies can and do stop working. Here's some decent evidence to show that. This is why we need rules to tell us when to stop and possibly when to get back in if they start working again, which is more rare than not. Before we go over to the spreadsheet, I'm going to show you part of this performance report, and this is the data that we're using. See, we can list the trades here. Every single trade is listed, going from this first trade on the 10th of January 2008 all the way through to the last trade, which was the 28th of April 2021. So multi-charts lists all of these trades, looking at it, trade number 426 there are. And we can quickly export this whole performance report into a spreadsheet. And that's what I've done, and that's the data for the trades that we're going to look at next. Okay, what we see now is our spreadsheet, which comes from the file that we just downloaded from multi-charts. It's the performance report. I'm actually in OpenOffice. It's not Microsoft Office, but it's very similar. I'm sure the process is extremely similar in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. I'm not an expert in any of them, but I worked it out, and I'm sure what I'm about to show you is going to be extremely similar. So once you download the performance report, you get these tabs: list of trades, strategy analysis, trade analysis, etc. All I'm interested in is the list of trades. We can see on this sheet trade number, and then we just want the profit and loss for each single trade. Once we have these, I've actually created a new tab called sorted trades, and I've put in trade number. It's just 1, 2, however many trades there are. Outcome, that's just the trade. That's the value that we just saw in the column, how much profit or loss each trade. The equity, which is the equity from these outcomes. Now, I've actually started the equity at 0. Multi-charts normally starts at 100,000, but starting at 0 just makes a cleaner chart for what we're going to be using it for. And then in the next column, I've got the 30-period moving average, which is a 30-period moving average of the equity. Now, I originally got this idea from Larry Williams, and he talks about using a 30-period, but you can use others. It's not vital. You could use a 25, 30, a 50. The slower you go, like if you went to a 50, the slower it is to respond. So the slower you'd stop trading a strategy once it had started to break. However, you would filter out some of the possible whipsaws that you would get with a shorter moving average. I generally like a 30. So once we have the 30-period moving average and the equity, we want to create a chart. Now, I'm going to start using data from trade 31 because we need the average of the previous 30 cells to create the average. So selecting the first trade as being trade 31, and then if we select all of that data range, so we're selecting the equity and the moving average, we can then create a chart. We want to see a line chart, something like that. Let's make this a little bigger. And we can see the blue line is our equity, very similar to the equity curve we saw in multi-charts. Remember this new high around here, and the orange line is that 30-period moving average. And the idea is that when our equity line crosses beneath the moving average, then this is when we're going to stop trading the strategy. Around about this period was a little bit unclear, so we continued to trade, and then the moment we started to see these lines widen, there was a clear indication that the equity was dropping far beneath its moving average, and this is when the strategy becomes broken, and this is ultimately when we stop trading. So it's that easy. If we'd have used a 50-period moving average, these areas here, they wouldn't have been quite so messy. The equity probably would have stayed above the moving average a little bit better, but it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes the 30 works better, sometimes 50 works better. There is no best one, but as long as you use one, it's going to get you out of this trading strategy when in this sort of area it stops making money and turns into a losing strategy. So the next thing I want to do is go to the other strategy that I mentioned, and we're going to look at the backtest report, the performance report in the spreadsheet, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to create the custom columns that I used to create this chart. So we're in the list of trades tab. This is the other strategy. This is a strategy on US dollar, Japanese yen, as you can see by the profit in yen. So what we're going to do is, I've already created a new tab. That's easy enough. We can just click here and insert, they call it a sheet. So we can name the sheet. I've already done this, and I just called it sorted trades. Now what we want to do is we want to select the column of the profit, and we want to copy that column and then paste it into our sheet here. Now the first thing I do is I unmerge these cells. We do that by coming up to the top. You might not be able to see actually. I've clicked on the Format tab, and then we've got this Merge Cells. Just deselect that and it's unmerged the cells. That's the first thing I do. The next thing I need to do is sort these cells so we can remove this gap. Now I apologise to anyone who's a OpenOffice or Excel expert. I might be doing this horribly wrong, but it's just the way that I use and the way that it works. Now to remove this gap, I insert a quick formula which allows me to sort them and remove those gaps. I'll come up against this cell here, which is A4, and then in B4 I'm going to type in I7 row A4 and hit enter, and that's going to give us a true. Now all I'm going to do now is go down to the end of these cells, and I'm going to fill down, and I'll show you what that then does. So come down to the end and then go edit, fill, down, and then for some reason this gives us a true false for every cell, and you can see that the cell with the value in is true, so that's the cell that we want to use. So now all we need to do is select both the columns. We're going to go at the top to data and then sort by column B and descending, OK, and here we see that it's removed the spaces between the cells, which is what we want. We can now select column B and just hit delete. So now we have our list of trades in date order. If we go over to the list of trades tab, we can see by date order. If we look at these outcomes here and then compare them to what we see here, you can see they're the same. The next thing I'll do is just to add some label to these columns. Outcome, equity, and 30, moving average. I'm going to select, in fact the first thing I'll do is, this isn't strictly necessary, but I'm just going to remove the yen, so the normal numbers. Now I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to cut those because they need to be placed in this column here. I'm going to paste them back in, and we're going to call this trade number. Trade number 1 equals this cell plus 1. And now we just need to fill down to give us the trade numbers for all of the trades. So edit up the top, fill, down. Now we've got our 746 trades. Now the equity, as I mentioned, we're going to start from 0. So to get the equity, I'm going to say the equity equals the cell above plus this cell here And again, we're going to now fill down. So select where we want to fill, edit, fill, down. That's given us our equity. Now we just need to put on the moving average. Now, as it's a 30 period, I'm going to go to cell or trade 31, and in this cell I'm going to write equals average, and it comes up, and then we want the average of, if I click on this first trade here and the semicolon and then trade 30 there, so the average of C3 to C32 equals, and now we just want to fill down again to give us our moving average for the complete equity curve. So up the top, edit, fill, down. Now we've got our 30 period moving average on the equity curve. And now we just do exactly the same as what I showed you previously. We're going to select, we could select from the starting equity, it doesn't really matter. Go to the end of the trades, selecting both columns, create a chart, and to see a line chart, one of those, finish. And let's make it a little bit bigger. And that's how we put the moving average onto our equity curve. And those of you who have been watching a few of my videos, you might recognize this equity curve. This was one of the first trading strategies that I actually created right back in 2016, and it stopped making me money around about this period. I was actually a little bit late with the rules. I should have turned it off a little bit earlier, and you can see it stopped making money for a year or so, but then actually quite rarely it started picking up, and you can see how the blue equity curve has then crossed over its own 30 period moving average, and then recently it's just been making strong new highs, and I've actually turned this strategy back on. So hopefully that was clear enough how to do that. I have obviously a standard template, so all I do is I download the trades from multi-charts and just dump them in the correct column, and then produces the chart ever so easy. So I had to actually refresh my memory on exactly how I did the original one when I created the template to start with. So we're just about to conclude this video, but before we do, if you are finding it interesting and maybe enjoying it, please give the video a thumbs up now. I know this isn't the most exciting of videos, but please do take notice, because this is a vital point of being a successful trader. Don't underestimate the importance of knowing when to turn off a strategy in real time. Anybody can look at historic chart, like I said earlier, and determine or point out, say, oh yeah, should have stopped trading it there. But doing it in real time, when you're trading with real money, that's what counts. And using this moving average on the equity curve will not fail to stop you trading a strategy that has stopped working and that's going to continue to lose money. And I think you'll agree that it's actually quite simple to implement. Once you've set up the first spreadsheet, then it's ever so easy just to copy and paste trades and create the new chart. I typically like to look at individual strategies every month or so to see how they're getting on. And it also works with discretionary traders. It doesn't have to be mechanical or algorithmic traders. If you're a discretionary trader, you can input your own trades and put a moving average on the equity curve of your own trades and see if you're underperforming or not. And if you are, then assess what's going on and perhaps adjust so that you're not going to continue to underperform and eventually just lose money. If you have any questions about this method, please leave them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But until the next one, this is Jared Goodwin, and thank you.